a series of episodes in which Alicent's suddenly powerful family began to disintegrate, and Rhaenyra learned to draw strength from unexpected and occasionally fiery sources are about to culminate in the second season final of House of the Dragon, which is about to be released. One of the most important characters, however, has been absent from his own plot for the majority of the time. Daemon Targaryen, played by Matt Smith, having a disagreement with ghosts that cause guilt, creating a witch as an adversary, influencing subordinates to behave in an unfathomably cruel manner. Is he making preparations to take his own shot at the Iron Throne, thereby betraying both his wife and his queen? Being the worst guest while having possibly the most gracious host ever in the form of Sir Simon Strong, which was portrayed by Sir Simon Russell Beale, a British acting great and internet Insta favorite. Daemon has been through a lot, yet he hasn't even ventured out of Harrenhal, which has been his home base ever since he snuck away from Dragonstone in the second episode. In the first season, Daemon was a dangerous bad boy with all the attraction that comes along with that portrayal. This is a significant change for him. He vanquished an entire army in the style of John Wick. He nonchalantly murdered his first wife, who was a nuisance, and he pouted about being removed from the line of succession due to his inconvenient behavior. Rhaenyra, his niece and the apparent heir apparent to the Iron Throne, was ultimately the one he wed. This occurred after she reached the age of maturity and their prior wives were no longer a factor in the relationship. At the beginning of the second season, the passionate power couple from Targaryen is at a lot of difficulty. Due to the fact that Westeros' dedication to patriarchy has already been well established in House of the Dragon, Daemon has been unwilling to completely embrace Rhaenyra's claim to the throne. This is because Daemon's own ambitions have been growing, and the combination of these two factors has contributed to the situation. When Rhaenyra calls him out for overstepping and challenges his devotion, he does what he has always done. He avoids the problem rather than confronting it head-on. He believes that he should be the one to give instructions. His goal is Harrenhal, the enormous husk of the biggest castle in Westeros, and his mission there is to ensure that all of the houses in the Riverlands are on Team Black. His destination is Harrenhal, and despite the fact that he has finally gotten around to tugging those strings in recent episodes, employing some horrible strategies that have made him the most loathed man in the region, the primary thrust of his narrative for the second season has been much more cosmic and bizarre. It is common knowledge among readers of George R.R. Martin's books and fans of the HBO series Game of Thrones that Harrenhal is a place that is well acquainted with tragedy and where the curtain can be very thin. The fact that Daemon's mind is already unsettled when he comes makes him even more open to the spirits who are trying to creep into his life. This becomes much more intense when Harry comes face to face with the witchy Aelys Rivers, who is Harrenhal's resident healer. It is hinted that she is a significant reason why he begins to experience unpleasant dreams and visions. While he is awake, she is surely not hesitant to probe into the shell that he has erected around his difficult sentiments regarding Rhaenyra, his late brother King Viserys, and the Iron Throne. She has been something of a voice of reason. Nevertheless, it is unclear at best whether Daemon is taking Alicent's warnings to heart that his actions have an effect on everyone around him, including the most vulnerable members of the low-income population. Significantly more effective in overcoming Daemon's towering ego are the ghosts that he interacts with. These ghosts include Rhaenyra, who was a teenager at the time that Viserys picked her as his successor rather than Daemon. Viserys himself is the most poignant of these ghosts. Their relationship suffered severely when Daemon was disinherited for being completely heartless following the tragic deaths of Viserys' wife and young son. Because of this, the brothers did not always agree with each other, and their relationship suffered greatly as a result. Although Viserys' appearance to Daemon at Harrenhal compels him to confront the painful emotions he has repressed for decades, it does not provide him with the sense of closure that he is experiencing. However, it is possible that it causes him to reconsider his pursuit of the throne for himself, particularly after Viserys, who appears to be in the midst of the most severe stages of his wasting disease, reminds his brother of the amount of suffering that it is capable of causing. Everyone who wears it is suffocated by it. Yes, Daemon, you have always desired it? Would you still like to have it? In episode 7, Daemon had to make a very unpleasant amends for his Riverland strategies by executing an associate who had followed his instructions a little too strictly. It is still to be seen, very soon, whether Daemon will take his Harrenhal teachings to heart. His existential predicament appears even more insurmountable, especially considering the fact that the battlefield is calling to him. That must have been painful. Is it possible that Rhaenyra's spouse will finally become a true asset to Team Black in the final? Or will his inclination to act like a self-serving jackass ultimately lead to his destruction? It is likely that we will find out when the Season 2 final of House of the Dragon airs on HBO and Max on Sunday night.